So, Cam, if you were to prepare a list of hints and tips for auditors when creating public headline statements, what would be the top things on that list?
Look, first thing is be succinct and straight to the point. No names and ideally no positions or titles of
Okay.
individuals. Hyperlinks, wherever there's a public disclosure requirement as required under the standards, provide a working hyperlink. Make sure those hyperlinks are checked before you submit the report, because sometimes, as I said earlier, IT departments like to change things around, or your audit report has taken a few months, hopefully not,
And
but a
actually,
few.
just on that subject of the hyperlinks, it's just come to me now. Just to be
Yeah,
clear, when we're saying put a hyperlink for the disclosure, should it be just a hyperlink, or should there be some explanation as to where you're going with that hyperlink, a title, or you'll find this document here?
yeah, no, good, valid comment there, Rhiannon. That's right. We like to see, and it looks really good when we further information on water discharges are available in the entity's 2025 sustainability report on page 18 and 19, available at, and then the hyperlink.
That's great. Thank you, Cam.
Yeah.
That makes that very clear. Because I think, sometimes when you have just a hyperlink, if, for example, it gets changed, then finding it to replace it is a lot of work if you don't know what you're looking for, right?
That's right. And look, some auditors have done this well too, where there might be a huge document and that's not the auditor's fault. It's just how the members structured their website. It can be a bit of a nightmare to navigate, but some auditors have done it really well, where they've gone for further information on the entity's approach to equal opportunity and women's initiatives on site. Go to the people and culture page at this website, then click initiatives and programs, and then navigate to this particular chapter, and then the hyperlink. So it just helps people navigate, and actually helps us too in oversight, because we check all this. And if it's
nice relevant details,
exactly, if it's a very high level hyperlink, where do we start? So we end up digging down rabbit warrens to find things. So no, good point on the hyperlinks. Just keeping going on this too. Yeah, certainly no recommendations or suggestions at all in the headline statements. I know this is a little bit different to some audits that you may do, ISO audits, some other certification schemes where they may allow that recommendations or improvements to come in. You do that in the full audit report, and we do promote that. We would love you guys to put that in, but in terms of headline statements for public consumption, no, thank you. More information for those higher risk criteria, and you'll know which ones are the higher risk ones as well for that entity. So where you know that more information is going to be needed for the reader, just go a bit further. An extra few sentences is always good for those higher risk ones. Again, spelling, capitalization, punctuation, a peer review can do that. Maybe your own fresh eyes coming back to it a few days later, or as I said, one of these AI tools that are out there too, whether it be sort of a Grammarly, a ChatGPT, a Google Gemini. There are dozens out there now, so pick your favorite one and check your punctuation that way. Avoid repetition where you can. If it's a common theme throughout the report, maybe mention it once or twice and then just pull it back, because it will be implied for the rest of the report. For non-conformities, it's the however. We need to know, you've set the scene, you've explained what the entity has, but then I'm looking at the other column and I see a non-conformance. We want to know the however. What's missing? Why have you given it a non-conformance? And that's where that however piece comes in. It's the why piece. And then finally, that peer review before submission. I mean, we do that ourselves. We do oversights, and we then send the final report internally to someone independent to review. Sometimes it's two people. And no matter how close you are to it, no matter how involved you are in preparing that report, your peers are going to find mistakes. It's just, that's how it is, no matter what you do. It's just those fresh eyes you're going to pick
Yeah.
up mistakes. So the peer review, I can't stress that strongly enough. Get someone else to look at it, even if they're not an auditor or they're not in the sustainability space. Sometimes that level of naivety can be of benefit. Someone is
Yeah, that's a
approaching
really
it
good
really
point.
fresh, yeah, and they go, well, what does this mean? And then the auditor should go, come on, okay, you probably, okay, that statement's not great because I should be writing it so you can understand what I'm saying.
That's a
Oh,
good
okay.
point. Public headline statement. It
Yeah.
should be, you know, digestible for the public, not
Yes.
necessarily everyone that's in the know and knows all the lingo and phrases.
Exactly, Rhiannon. Yeah, well put.
Great. I think that's brilliant, Cam. I think we've really hit the nail on the head with some short, sharp points to really drive the message home. And of course, if more information is needed, auditors, we encourage you to reach out and let us know what you'd like us to talk about on these podcast sessions. And remember that you can get more information on public headline statements and various other topics on Educational, our learning platform. So, Cam, is there anything else you'd like to say in today's session?
Look, no, I think that's it from me, and I look forward over the coming months to reading some good public headline statements.
That's great. Thank you very much, Cam. Thank you for your time today.
Not a problem. Good chatting with you, Rhiannon. See you all.